We are live.
Hello, everybody. This is episode 4 of Vegas Day Drinkers. It's the holiday Christmas edition. We're coming to you.
Jingle smells, Batman smells. Oh, wait, I think I got the lyrics all wrong.
Yes. Krampus is amongst us.
I may have been day drinking. It is possible.
As you should. Holiday nog and whatnot. Christmas sangria.
Why do I feel like we're talking like very low, like the two gals on SNL? What were their names? Not the church ladies, but remember they sold the chocolate salty balls?
Oh, yeah.
Baldwin?
Was it, Kristen Wiig, and was it her?
I don't remember. Anyway, let's move on.
So we're coming to you on Christmas Eve's Eve in the late nights because our day drinking got the best of us. Not really. Work got the best of us, so we're just taking the opportunity to blast out to you guys real quick.
We are serving all the day drinkers.
Yes, so...
Hence the recording at night.
Holiday traffic is amongst us, as we saw many tired, weary travelers today. But we will not continue to be tired or weary ourselves. I guess the biggest news this week, Darren, that affected Las Vegas in some capacity, even though it was a bit of a misnomer, is the FTC has decided to ban hidden junk fees, resort fees, and listed ticket event prices. So that kind of made a wave in some of the Las Vegas news, because I know a lot of people do not like resort fees or think they're incredulous, which I believe they are too.
100%. You get on an airplane and you travel all the way here, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, sir, you owe us an extra $280 for your 5-night stay."
But however, with the clickbait world that we live in, I did a little more research into it, and most of the major resorts here in Las Vegas display their fees, so it's not like they're really going away. It's more so these third-party sites, these like little more shady features that it do to eradicate some of them. But your MGM Corporation, your Caesars, Harrah Corporation, all those fees are advertised when you go through the booking outlets. So it's not as enticing as it may have eventually or initially unfolded.
So guess what, America? You're still getting screwed.
That's right. So,
but at least it's being screwed in Las Vegas, which I believe we all like to be.
Right. We also come to you on I guess it's still the 22nd, it's not the 23rd yet. But the Raiders did themselves no favors today by beating the Jacksonville Jaguars, so removing themselves from potentially having the top overall draft pick by having another victory in their arsenal. I think they've moved down to maybe the 6th position. I mean, things can still unfold, but in a season where I shook my head, before the season came out and all the talking heads, they put the over-under on the Raiders winning 4 games. I was like, there's no way. They got to be better than that.
Tom Brady's going to make it all better next season, right?
That's right. Well,
he's going to work his Tom Brady magic.
He can make Mark Davis's haircut better.
I'm a Seahawks fan, so I was pleasantly surprised to see them hold on to the Vikings. They actually had the lead for 3 minutes to the end of the game.
And I'm a Chiefs fan, so we're not going to gloat on that. But it was nice to see Patrick and the boys come out strong.
I saw them. They got him a Christmas gift. Andy Reid. Do you see that?
I did not see that.
They got him a cheeseburger in paradise.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Andy likes his burgers.
Yes, so. He does.
But, I mean, as you guys know, as we know, living here for 20-plus years, after NFR wraps up around the second week of December, it gets kind of quiet in Vegas. So everyone's doing their holiday travel, going to and from. A lot of the casino restaurants just shut their doors for a couple weeks until we start.
I have major thoughts, like working graveyard for all these years, like you would get the weirdest random people, like Indians or like Chinese and like Japanese, weird like foreigners that don't necessarily, the Japanese celebrate Christmas, but just like it must be cheaper season to get them over here at that time, because it would be a lot of those people during this time of year.
Yeah, and let's be honest, I mean, everyone doesn't obviously have families, so what are you going to do? You're going to come,
When I first moved here 25 years ago, I thought, like local, as a local waiter, bartender, I'm expecting the Christmas season to be very busy and you make a lot of money as a server. But the first year I moved here, it was the exact opposite of what I experienced in my, life up in Washington State. And I made nothing. So Christmas was a bit bleak. And then I learned real quick that like, hey, there's a big slowdown right before the holidays here. But it's kind of changed over the years as the town's grown.
Yeah. And in that slowdown, I never slow down. So I had the opportunity this last week to go to my parents' house and work on some holiday traditions. The povatitsa, which you sampled the goods the other day.
Very nice.
It's an Eastern European nut bread that my grandma would always bring to the table during the holidays. She would make it with the church group. Shout out to Margie Showman, R.I.P. Shout out to Marion Science, R.I.P.
I like to slather your nut bread with butter and gobble it up.
Like Chris Farley said, it needs a hat. But yeah, I mean, the story is, I've told it 100 times at the bar this week as I brought some samples to some folks. But, my grandmother used to make this. It was one of those just passings of the holiday season, Christmas. And there is now a commercial bakery in Kansas City called Strawberry Hill that has taken advantage of it and made multiple flavors throughout the years. And it's not bad, but it's not what grandma made. And so I had the conversation with my parents a few years ago that my mom asked me, like, what flavors do you want? And I go, honestly, I don't want any, Mom, because I don't enjoy it.
So, Chris, I gotta let the people know. They may not know. I'm sure the people that are listening probably do know right now, but we expand massively. When we expand huge, Chris makes the best eggnog every Christmas. This year, however, he's been a bit of a Grinch, and I don't think it's coming through anytime soon. So next year, we're going to revisit this, and we'll let you know exactly how good the eggnog is next year.
Which is a subtle nod to our Patreon account coming soon. No,
yes.
Just kidding. But no, we'll talk about that soon. But back to the nut bread very quickly. Long story longer, my great aunt and uncle are still alive, both dancing around 100. And a few years back, they got the recipe to us. So it is a labor of love. It's an all-day process, but the yield and the effort is worth the result because it is pretty damn tasty. And as a coworker of ours can attest to, it's better than crack. And I don't know if he has ever had crack, but it's better than.
Crack's better with a hat on it.
Yeah, so it's, but eggnog will be back this holiday season. I've just kind of been being pulled a few different ways.
So in the holidays, I know you like having Bloody Marys, but do you have a holiday favorite drink you like to have during the day?
What did Dean Martin once say? What's your favorite drink? The next one? Yeah. I mean, I can always say that. My mom does like for me to do on Christmas morning, I'll do Irish coffees.
Coffees.
I enjoy those. I started making Christmas sangria last year, so I'd get some sangria from Costco if you have your membership, and then they come out with a flavored Canada Dry Ginger Ale, so the wild berry.
I was able to hear the story of how the Irish coffee was invented the other day, and I'd like to go into that in an episode in the future, maybe closer to St. Patrick's Day, but maybe the history of Irish coffees.
Well, and for you listeners that like your day drinks, he was telling me yesterday, I haven't a chance to sing this particular TikTok, but there's a bartender on TikTok, and he did an Irish espresso
martini. Yes.
Yeah, tell him about that.
Oh my gosh. 1 ounce of whatever Irish whiskey you prefer. I wouldn't go anything high end. I would rather just use Jameson or maybe Kilbeggan, which is my personal favorite. Tullamore Dew will do too. For you McMullins fans out there. Then 1 ounce of coffee liqueur. I'm thinking Kahlua, but you do whatever you want. 4 ounces of Guinness, all in a shaker tin, and just swirl it around. Don't shake it. Just swirl it around, and then pour it in a martini glass. And of course, the Guinness will aerate, and it'll make a nice creamy head, so it looks exactly like an espresso martini. I was like, man, I really need to get one of these.
And a dollop of Kerrygold butter. No, that is just for you ketogenic folks. No.
Is that a thing still?
I think it is. Yeah.
Diets, there are a million of them.
Yeah, so, but yeah, going back to the nut bread too, a dollop of Kerrygold butter, not that the bread needs it, but it's pretty damn good. And that's coming soon. But with me being pulled a couple different ways this holiday season, Mr. Benjamin was nice enough to nudge me a bit and said, you got to put your lights up. I was like, you're right. So a little bit late, a little bit lackadaisical, but I did get the lights up, and it was nice and reassuring because my immigrated neighbors from Central Europe, the little boy they had was just very happy to see it. And I saw him. His mom was filming him show because his dad's an over-the-road truck driver right now.
Oh, really?
So filming it once I got Santa
Bless
Claus.
Your heart.
I know.
Bless your heart, Chris.
I know.
You're an angel in disguise. I just heard a bell ring. I think you just got your angel wings.
That's right. That's right. So that was reassuring. And that kind of made me think as, we get to this time of year, we all become reflective and we look back on 2024 as we get ready for 2025 and make our predictions. But
we will not be reflecting on the rant I just gave Mr. Science pre episode. Just saying. That's going to be a secret.
We'll keep that for the show notes.
Yeah.
But, this summer, Survey, Darren, and I, we went down to Boulder City for an afternoon and checking out some places that we probably normally wouldn't do just because of distance. But it was a fun afternoon. And myself, who fancies myself a bit of a bon vivant, was pleasantly surprised with, we knew about the Dillinger. We knew about a couple. We wanted to go initially for Boulder City Brewing Company. They were going out of business, to kind of tip of the hat to them before they went away, which subsequently I believe they worked out the lease, so they're staying around. But the place that just was really knocked me back on my heels was a place called Backstop. Remember that?
Backstop, yeah. We played darts for the first time in about 1 million years.
Yeah, I'd never been before. The building has been around for, I would say, 100 years.
Yeah, old school bar. The bar was brought from, I remember California.
Yeah.
And they'd moved it, but it was like from the 19-teens.
It was cash only.
Yes, cash only bar.
And I think
which is definitely a Midwest vibe.
Yeah, and I think the thing that blew me off the charts was we each had a beer and a shot for less than $20 total.
3 of us.
Yeah, so I was like, holy shit, there is hope. But, I mean, it wasn't the best of shots. It was, their own pickled something or another. But it was...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but it was a fun afternoon. It was
peppercini vodka.
That's right. That's what it was.
Peppercini vodka.
It was a fun afternoon, and I think it was just because I completely didn't expect anything that was one of those just reassuring things, much like the baby boy next door the other day.
Many more dive bars in Vegas, let me tell you, that we will be exploring over the next couple.
And this is one of the undertones of what we talk about all the time too. Is there are a lot of freaking corporate bars now, and unfortunately, the independent mom and pop places continue to get just consumed or just go away. And we can discuss for a multitude of hours why that could be, but I think that
I think we need to discuss that in greater detail, in the future.
Yeah. But we need those, because that matters. So, and again, I think one of the first episodes I talked about, maybe eventually we'd start a GoFundMe to where we can open a bar where all of our fellow day drinkers and, libationists or whatever,
you could almost say a place where everybody knows your name, Chris.
I know. Let's sign off on it. Let's get Ted Danson on this. What do you... Another category I want to do coming up, and I want to kind of create this, is I'm going to do a post on the page about it, is I'd like to hear what you guys, other podcasts you listen to, because I find motivation in that. And I'll tell you a little adage. I'm a big Mike Rowe guy. I like his Mike Rowe Works Foundation. And one of his more recent public... Does
that mean it's a small foundation, or is it just a Mike Rowe Foundation?
See what you did there.
Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
Like Ant-Man.
Mike Rowe, yeah.
Ant-Man.
Yes, to play on words. But he had a gentleman on the other day, and again, kind of like going back to these reoccurring themes in my head lately, a gentleman named Quentin Schultze, and he just wrote a book, and it was adaptations and learning from the movie The Christmas Story, who was written by a gentleman named Gene Shepard. Now, if I've heard Gene Shepard's name before, I completely forgot about it. Of course, Darren was like, oh yeah, Gene Shepard, he has a smoking jacket with him or something.
Well, people may not, they know the name and they definitely know the voice. And the voice is, I'm sure you're going to get to that.
Yeah. So he was the adult voice that narrated the story. He's passed since 1999, but he was a precursor to Paul Harvey, Charles Kuralt. And just like, obviously Mike Rowe has a way of selling words, but to have this gentleman come on and obviously promote his book, but talk about the origins of A Christmas Story and how this guy was just his parables and his learning, whatever. It was just, again, much like The Backstop, much like The Boy. It was just kind of very reassuring. So much so that I bought the Audible book. I haven't listened to it yet, but as we go forward with our storytelling at Vegas Day Drinkers, I think it's something I'm going to consume quite soon. And with that, that's my 2 cents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just, the movie, it's legend.
Yeah. How many Christmas movies have you knocked out this year?
I have not watched a single one.
Not a single one.
Not a single one. I've gone through the Essentials playlist on iTunes.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I have not. I have had on repeat on my television a Snoopy screensaver. It's 4 hours of Snoopy music and Snoopy on his bed and snow and Christmas lights, and I just been having that on in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did notice that there was this. I forget the name of the AI software I was playing around with the other day, but I saw. If you guys saw out there, did you guys see the Bill Belichick little meme or AI generated? So if you can record something on the internet that has this person talking for a consistent minute, you can put out content with that person saying anything in their voice.
The only one that I know like that is the one with the guy that sings about you pooping. He'll do anybody's name. You just put your name in and he'll sing about you pooping.
Yeah. This shit's real.
I was going to say, in homage to Christmas Story, oh fudge.
Yeah. Scud Farkas. But I did buy a trial software to mess with, and I did something with Schwarzenegger, which I put up on our TikTok page, and I just checked this afternoon. It has over 1,200 views.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So, of course, all the looky-loos come out, and, it's fun. It is German. It's Arnold. You must do this the right way. And we talked about our boys at Vegas Stage Nickers.
I find it fascinating that I've never met the man, but he apparently knows us very well.
Yeah. It's
weird.
AI.
Yeah,
and apparently I'm getting paid to say a lot this episode because I keep saying I need to stop that. And in post, eventually we'll work that out. But for the time being,
it's tied into the word yum.
Yes,
and that's what's Chris thinking because I just gave him a bunch of Christmas cookies.
Yeah, I need a little bit of a sugar kick.
You need a frosty cold beverage to wash it down with.
Yeah, it was, and that's why Vegas day drinkers can eventually become Vegas after hours.
It could, yeah. Why not?
But yeah, I mean, one of the new things I want to do in the new year is what a category I'm going to call Ron C. We're going to talk about trends. I looked up on Google just very quickly, like stuff that nationally that people were searching this year, and then more so locally in the Las Vegas market. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple 2 cents for you to chew on. The biggest thing in news this year was the election, number one. Number two was Copa America.
Wah.
Yes, so let's not get divisive there.
Well, no, not divisive. Just who cares? Who wants to fester on politics anymore? Yeah, let's have a good time. And
it's over now. It's the holiday season. Number three was the Olympics. And number four was Hurricane Milton.
Hurricane Milton.
Showing our age, me being well in my 40s and you somewhere around that also.
I actually know an Emmy award-winning editor that works on the Olympics every year.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Name?
I'm not going to give it out on air just because I haven't asked him, but
okay.
But he is an Emmy award-winning editor.
So let me ask you this, Darren, as someone that listens to so much Kendrick Lamar, do you know what the number one song search for Las Vegas residents was this year?
I'm going to say no, Chris.
Not Like Us.
Which would be the exact reason why I wouldn't listen to Kendrick Lamar. Not Like Me.
Yes, nor myself. Not that I don't know who Kendrick Lamar was.
I know who he is.
I did give it a quick spin on Spotify, and I'm like, I have never heard this song.
Have I ever told you this story, Chris? I'm going to tell you a quick story.
Okay.
A little yarn, if you will. I started, 2 years ago, I started on this endeavor. I said, okay, I'm going to listen to the top 100 songs from every year that I've been alive. And I was born in 1972. I'll give you that much. I got to about 1991 or 1992, and it got a little bit harder to listen to everything. And it was about 97, 98 that I just was like, I can't anymore. I just can't do this. Like the music that I think it's not that I wasn't appreciating it. It was just there's so much music released. I looked at the actual amount of songs that were released as opposed to 1972, as opposed to 2000, and it's just the trends. I guess I just aged out of the trends myself personally. Not that I don't want to, but it's life.
Yeah, I have a similar story to that. I've been in Vegas now 21 years, and the first few years there was a big Tower Records on Sahara, and whatever job I had, because I've obviously been hospitality most of my adult life. I'm usually off midweek. I was always off on Tuesdays, and Tuesdays coincided with when there were still CDs.
CD release days.
Right, Tuesdays.
Yes.
So I would call Tower Records church, because I would be over there and I could spend hours in there reading the notes from the employees, going through the magazine section, the peripherals, whatnot, et cetera, et cetera.
I never did that, Chris, but I did go in there to look at the girls.
It's okay.
And speaking of girls, next door was TGI Fridays, and they had the ultimate Long Island's, and they were like, their happy hour was like 3 to 5 or 2 to 4 or something like that back then.
Yeah. And then, well, it's funny you say that, because like TGI Fridays went away a few years ago, and then it became the sister property to Sporting Life, which is kind of in our neighborhood, and that became Home Field, but then it just subsequently went away, much to the corporations taking over. And I think it's going to be a Dottie's or a Bourbon Street now, or it's still doing the build out. But finishing the story, so I used to do that at Tower Records quite a bit. Well, Tower Records went away, and so I didn't spend a lot of my hours on Tuesdays anymore going over there. So I found myself at, much to your point of trying to do the top 100, I found myself at Walmart one day saying, you know what, I'm going to be a sucker to the victim. And I got one of those Now, CDs that was a discography of the year. So not knowing who was on it or whatever, I thought this would just be a good way to kind of keep me relative and present. Well, sure as shit, I'm listening to this thing, and I'm like, maybe track 6. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of catchy. That's kind of poppy. So I take the CD case and I look at it because I don't know who it is. Well, lo and behold, Justin Bieber. I caught
the Bieber fever?
I caught the Bieber fever. And at the time, I was working at Steiner's, and my ever so supportive cast of characters that I work with when I was telling the story, much like I'm relaying it to you now, well, that just opened up an impetus of a bunch of Bieber stuff for my birthday that year. So
I think
Bieber ornaments, Bieber earrings,
oh my gosh, really?
Bieber boxers. Everyone was in on it, and I will never tell that story.
God, I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I still have some of it too. Thank you. Shout out to Shayna. Shout out to Allie Butt. Shout out to a few other people.
So on that note, I think, can we go out singing "I'm a Believer" by the Monkees? Hey, I'm a believer.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Which apparently, on that note too, I just saw a little clip from Paul McCartney wrapped up his tour over at the O2 Arena last week.
Yeah.
And one of the songs they sing as they walk out to the stage is the Monkees.
Yeah, the theme song from the Monkees.
Yeah. Well, that's all I really got. Again, we wanted to get something out to you before Christmas. I know everyone's running around with holiday stuff, but we're only 4 episodes in, but we've got big plans. Do want to hear your comments. If you find us on YouTube, comment there. If you see us we're across all streaming platforms also.
Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram.
Yeah. My Christmas wish is to have 500 people in our group by the new year. So we're just under 300 right now. If you want to share us, please do so. Please add content. All those holiday cocktails that we'll be making over the next 72.
I'm more than willing to share Chris with everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I can't be Shrek for a reason.
Yes. And I can't be Donkey for any other reason.
Yes. So thank you guys for listening. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Fröhliche Weihnachten. Joyous Noel. Feliz Navidad. Mele Kilikimaka. Bon Natale.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
You almost got all the ones from It's a Small World.
Damn it.
Holiday edition.
All right. Thanks, guys.